Hit record here. All right. OGV, episode 8, baby.
Episode.
OGV, episode 8. I'm
We're
your
back.
host. I am the captain, Orlando Razzo, at Orazo on Twitter, Orazo3 on Instagram. We got Lex in the house. Lex, you want to tell him your Insta handle?
Lex, this is my third time on OGV. I hope I can keep coming back. Episode 8. I'm loving it. Instagram handle Alex E Aguirre. Follow me for some quality posts, quality stories. Just good lifestyle stuff.
What's your other one? I know you're big into cards,
Oh, you're gonna let
Pokemon.
me plug this at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
All right, the plug is Lex__cards. It's a little side gig, a little flipping of some sports cards. If you need sports cards, let me know. I'm your guy.
Yes, that is true. He's a young entrepreneur, and you're doing a great job with. I honestly haven't dug too much into that. I would actually very much like to.
You don't need to. Your dad actually DM'd me the other day, asked me if I knew anything about '60s baseball cards, and I was like, I don't. But I asked him if he did, and then he just kind of left me on red. But that was it.
Yeah, you expect a 70-year-old man to like respond with something elaborate
I don't know.
after that?
He seemed interested in '60s baseball cards. I don't know shit about '60s baseball
Dude, he's
cards.
got like binders and binders
Well,
and binders
he's
and
probably sitting on a
binders.
bunch of money on those cards if he wants to
He
sell them.
is. He is. And maybe one of them may not be worth a lot of money, but the quantity that he has mixed in with the quality, it's got to be. I don't want anyone to rob him. So on a public, like when I'm saying this on a public like platform,
Yeah,
but
just
he's got a lot of money in cards.
don't tell people your home, your parents' home
My
address.
parents' home address.
Yeah.
Yep. But we got a packed show. I'm excited for it. First things first, Stripe Golf Company,
Oh yes, baby.
stripegolfco.com,
Stripe golf.
stripegolfco.com. They're the best Kansas City-based brand. Got a ton of hats. Check them out. Good prices, quality hats, very cool looking. It's a really cool logo. Anything with cursive, and you get the lowercase going, and then you have the little lettering after that. I'm always on board. So stripegolfco.com. Packed show. We got some water cooler. We're gonna talk Niners draft and NFL draft. Just briefly go over that
Yep.
because that happened. If we're speaking in terms of when this will get released, it happened last night. We have baseball. The Giants are actually solely in first place
I just
as
saw a
of today.
tweet. Solely in first
Solely
place.
in first place as of today. Mauricio Dubonne is the craziest baseball player I've ever seen in my life. He does stuff on a baseball field that I did in Little League. And then we have A's are red hot. The Rays brought up a left-hander I read a tweet. He's on track to be the hardest throwing starting pitcher in Major League Baseball history.
Oh, I did
And
not
he's
know
a
that.
rookie.
I'm not surprised by that.
And then a brief Mortal Kombat review. Spoiler alert, I hated it. And then we'll get into some golf to end the show.
Sounds
So we'll
good.
start it off. Niners draft. I mean, basically a big cock tease with Shanahan and Lynch for God knows how long. How long was that? 2 months that we were just they're drafting McCorkle? Are they drafting Lance? Are they It was. I'll give credit to them because no one knew the pick, and it was cool mystery. It was cool knowing it. It got fucking old after like a month, and then it was just like they're drafting McCorkle. So I don't know what you have to say on it. I'm really happy they got Lance
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
I'm happy they got Lance too. I mean, how long ago did they trade for that pick? Was that a month or 2 months ago?
It
But
had to have been a
kind of like,
month, more than a month.
yeah, and of course the Niners are super secretive, and you never know who they're going to pick. And like I'm not that well versed in the rookie quarterbacks, but I mean, I sure thought for a while it was going to be Justin Fields. That was a no brainer. And then when I heard not Justin Fields, I thought, all right, I guess it's Mac Jones. And I'm happy. I'm happy that they took Trey Lance. He's probably got the most upside out of those three guys.
Yeah, I mean, going into like, what was it the post Corona, whatever the Corona season, like I guess you just don't even count a year. We shouldn't even count a year for our age.
Seriously.
But Lance was like the number 2 guy, and he was considered pretty close to Lawrence at that point. So the fact that then he slipped, he played 1 game, didn't look very good, but they probably wasn't practicing, not a lot of continuity. The Niners just run this sort of state-run media, television, dog and pony act where there's no leak or anything ever. And it's like, yeah, you appreciate that. You appreciate I guess it's almost like a Patriot type of way deal. But at the same time, it's like, shit, man. You had the 3rd pick. You knew they were drafting Wilson. You knew the Jags were drafting Lawrence. Like, okay, you didn't have to let us, have a heart attack thinking they were going to draft Mac Jones.
Well, I mean, wasn't that like John Lynch's whole thing? Is that when he came in, he found a way to just get rid of anyone that was going to be a leak by just putting out a bunch of like unimportant information, figured out who leaked it, and then fired him. So I'm not surprised, but yeah, I completely agree. If you're a Niners fan, you're just like, all right, dude, just tell us who you're going to take. If you're another team, I get why that's like frustrating, but yeah, hey, we got to figure it out. I think we like our pick. He's got Jimmy G to get him going, and I hope there's some good quarterback competition right off the bat.
They should trade Jimmy G today.
You think they could get anything for him?
Did you see the Giants got Mike Tauchman? And I mean, Jimmy G's like essentially he's just a rag doll now. I guess Mike Tauchman played against Jimmy G in high school football and intercepted him. And it was someone brought it up to Tauchman when he got in an Uber on his way to the stadium that he picked off Jimmy G. So it's like Jimmy G has gone from completely, having this 49er fan base. Now everyone just kind of shits on him. I feel bad for the guy because I like Jimmy.
Yeah, I like Jimmy too. I was excited when he came to the Niners, and I think he had that, the good Super Bowl year, but just never were really sure if he was going to be the guy that was going to finish the deal. Plus the injury and the way he played after the injury is super timid, which is like not what you want to see.
Jittery Jimmy. He just doesn't look like
Jittery
he would. Jittery G. Yeah. He just didn't look, and which is wild because he's such a good looking dude. He's got some good features, and to lack self-confidence. It's like, what's at play here?
The one other thing I saw is that tonight, immediately when we drafted Trey Lance, he texted Shanahan and was like, give me his number. I want to start helping him right away. And I like that I kind of like that as a 49ers fan, but I'd also kind of like to see Jimmy G kind of be like, fuck you. I'm here to like win the job. I'm here to be the guy. And he's just not that.
I thought you were going to say he did one of those things where he deletes like all the Niners from his Twitter, stuff like that.
No, he just he's like, I pretty much want to help this guy just take my job is what he wanted.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like, Jim, where's the fire?
Yeah, it's not there.
Anyway.
Is there anything else you wanted to say about the Niners pick? Did you want to talk about any other notable picks? I had a couple.
Yeah. What do you got? I saw the Bengals drafted another receiver. They could have had Penei Sewell.
So that was a pick I actually liked. So I know they needed an offensive line, but they got Burrow's main guy from LSU. They got Burrow's number 1 wide receiver when they won the national championship. So it's just like immediate chemistry right after that. And I love that pick.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really mind it whatsoever. I just hope that they did spend a lot in free agency on O-line as well.
Yeah.
And they have a left tackle in Jonah Williams. I think he's a Folsom kid.
I'm not
but
sure.
I'm actually 100% positive I'm right. But I don't know. I still think the Bengals are going to suck as long as who's on their defense.
Yeah, I don't
they don't have anyone. I think there's like the worst tackling. Offense. Yeah, their offense will be nice.
Yeah.
I like that. What other picks you like? You like Najee?
I always like Najee. Etienne dropping to 25. I don't know if he was expected to drop 25. I didn't do a ton of research pre-draft, but Etienne's just like always been a guy I've seen for the past 3 years. I don't know. What do you think about the Mac Jones? Mac Jones, to the
Pats.
Patriots. It's like perfect for him, right? It's got to be the one team that's like going to actually make him be the best that he could be.
Yeah, him, the Niners, like Mac Jones, the guy, like he would have been good on the Niners, no doubt about it. It's pretty hard, and like you got to be pretty atrocious to be bad on the Niners. So a la Mullins, Beathard.
I
Like you
like
got to be
Beathard.
you like Beathard?
I mean, I guess when you're forced to pick a backup, I'll take him over Mullins. Is how much I like him, but
I would prefer to have like a wing T offense with like Debo Samuel under center rather than
fair.
rather than those two. What were we talking about?
We're just talking about other picks in the draft. That's pretty much all I had. If you wanted to talk about any other picks, go for it.
I just saw Waddle went to the Dolphins. So essentially, both the Bengals and the Dolphins put their quarterbacks with their guys,
I
which
love that.
I like that a lot. So I mean, we'll see if it works out.
And I guess Justin Fields to the Bears just signaling a for sure end to Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, and is Trubisky on the team?
I don't know. I actually said that and was hoping that I wasn't wrong.
I think you got to be wrong here.
That he's not.
I don't think Trubisky's on the team anymore.
Because it's Andy Dalton and
it's Andrew Dalton. I think Trubisky's with
Nick
the Bills.
Let me look.
Yeah, Trubisky's on the Bills.
Okay, yeah, that's just me not knowing enough about football. Okay, so anyway, that wasn't
a great research, Lex.
Sorry about that. If you weren't sure, now you know Mitch Trubisky is not a Bear.
No, but it does signal. I thought you were going to say it signals the end of Justin Fields because he's going to the Bears.
The Bears are still a decent team. I mean, they've made the playoffs past 2 out of 3 years. So
I don't know about Nagy, man. I don't really like him, but I do. I think it's a good pick. I like Fields a lot. Like I watched when I was at my old job. I wasn't really working when I was working from home. So I watched tape of all the quarterbacks. Just went through just on the clock, grinding through tape.
Nice.
And I mean, I didn't think Fields was that far off from Lance. I just think his throwing motion's a little weird. So
is that why
good
Lance
pick.
Just like what do you know the reason why the Niners, what was the main thing why they said we're not taking Justin Fields?
I think he's smooth, man. Like there's like a fluidity that goes into Lance. His throwing motion, he's a much more fluid athlete. Fields is like kind of a bruiser when he's a runner.
Yeah.
Like he's super fast, but he takes licks. I don't know enough about Lance. I don't think he could have taken licks if he wanted to because he was playing against FCS teams. He's bigger than all the linebackers.
He's playing against UC Davis, baby.
Did he play UC Davis? Does North Dakota State play Davis?
If they play, I think every once in a while they play him in the season, or if they play in playoffs, yeah. But he played UC Davis once.
Dude, UC Davis is a powerhouse now. I think they won 2 games while we were there.
They were so bad when we were there until maybe my last year when you were actually playing for the Mariners. They actually were pretty good.
That was when they went to the playoff.
They had Keelan Doss that year.
Yeah, and then they went to Eastern Washington and blew it. They almost.
But then since then they've been awesome. Anyway, we shouldn't talk too much about UC Davis football.
Yeah, the UC Davis football YouTube show. I got nothing else on the draft.
You
got anything else?
No, that's it. I mean, there was 33 picks. I talked about a couple of them. I think it's great.
Yeah, of course. Moving on. NL West, Giants, starters ERA. They didn't play tonight. The Giants have a bunch of shovesmen on the fucking staff. So here's the ERAs of the Desclafani, 1.5. Wood, 1.5. Johnny Cueto, the horseman, 1.8. Kevin Gossman, the donut-eating legend, 2.14. Aaron Sanchez, 2.22. That's their starting rotation. That's absurd.
I mean, how many shutouts do they have this year? Do you know off the top of your head? They
no.
had they had in a 5-game stretch they had 3, and I think they've had like 5 total this year, which is like pretty impressive to have that many shutouts. They might have more.
Look, I'm gonna be the biggest skeptic of all with the
Oh,
Giants.
I am too. I have no faith, especially in that division.
But they really do deserve some fist bumps, some props, some OG handshakes for what they're doing right now. Like, no one expected this. Posey's got 6 bombs. There was one I was looking at Posey's. He had 6 home runs, but his slugging percentage was still like 500.
So
So
he's
he was
just
either
singles and bombs guy.
singles bombs.
Do you
I don't
think
know how.
what do you think about Gabe Kapler? I haven't watched much Giants as an A's fan myself, but what do you like Gabe Kapler? Is he doing a good job or is he leaving? I mean, he's obviously letting guys go, which is good, but what do you think?
Yeah, he's fine. The Bay Area fan base is very, very passionate and good, but I'm convinced they don't know a whole lot about baseball or any sport for that matter, because people were calling for Kapler's head like last year. Like, he doesn't know what it's like, bro. Have you seen the fucking team? It's not it's not the 27 Yankees that they're rolling out there, and they're making chicken salad out of chicken shit, essentially. Like, yeah, he's made some stupid mistakes. He has some weird press conferences where he'll like basically say every single cliche in the book.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with the guy. They're winning. They've won. They won last year.
Yeah, no, I think he's been fine. I just when you make like moves that are like different, if they don't go correctly, people just are immediately like that was wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. We want Bochy, you know. And I kind of get that, but
We want
we
Bochy.
want we want Bochy back. But I mean, if that's how you're gonna manage, I mean, that's just how you're gonna manage, and they're doing good. So
Yeah, exactly. He's fine. He's fine. Dubonne, he had a play the other night. I don't know if you saw.
no, so I know who dubonne is just from watching last year. I have not watched much this year, but I see that you keep texting. You and Blake keep texting about dubonne's ridiculousness. So I need you to get me up to speed on that a little bit.
Yeah, so Dubonne is one of the worst baseball players. He's very talented, and I'm sure he is a great guy. So let's get that out there.
It's not personal.
This is
It's not
not personal. This is not personal. And if anything, I'm like trying to help him. He does stuff on the bases that no one does. It's like a cardinality. So for those who don't know, cardinality, God bless his soul, worst base runner you'll ever see. He the other night was trying to score from first base, and he's getting the stop sign from Ron Wotus, who is like basically halfway between third base and home.
So you should be able to clearly see him with the
All
stop
you have
sign.
to do is take your fucking cranium and put it up, and you will the third base coach will be in your direct line of sight, and you will see both of his hands saying stop. Hey buddy, pump the brakes here, get back to third, let's keep the rally going. Dubonne head down, rounds third. He rounds third and takes a wide ass turn like around third. So he's not running in a straight line to home by any means.
Horrible route.
Horrible route. Runs into Ron Wotus as he's rounding third. He runs into his third base coach. I don't even know how that happens. He's not even looking forward. Runs into his third base coach. Was tagged out by 20 feet.
That's there's a lot of things wrong with that play.
Yeah. Dubonne. And he did the thing too where he just like stopped and he got tagged out. That's how you know it was really bad. He didn't even like try and he just gave himself up.
Yeah.
So that's the Mauricio Dubonne experience.
Yeah, I have a pretty good idea of that now. That's a tough play.
It is, and I'm not convinced he's going to learn, because this has happened. Like, stuff to this degree just happens all the time now. Which honestly, I love watching it.
Is he playing center field?
He can play all over the place. That's why the Giants like him a lot, because he's like he's pretty versatile, and he's athletic.
I was trying to figure out like where he fits into the lineup, and I guess that kind of makes sense if you can just play around.
Yeah, the Giants want to do basically what the Dodgers do, where they just go positionless.
where
But
they have 14 starters and 9 spots, and the
yeah,
Giants don't have
14
that, but
three
they're just
hitters,
yeah.
and the Giants don't have. Y'all got one kookaroo. Y'all got one. The A's red hot. I just put the A's red hot. Do you have anything to say on them?
Well, I mean, if you listen to our podcast the past, 2 times, you kind of got a flavor for this. I said they could easily start 0-10, and then they were 1-7. I think maybe 1-8. I'm not sure. 1-7 and 1-8, and now they're 16-10. I want to say, so they're 15-5. They're past 20 games, something like that, and they went on a 13-game winning streak. Yeah, they're red hot. They're awesome. The pitching staff's been great. Bullpen's been great. No hitters doing like crazy well. I think like Olsen has like 6 bombs. No one's really hitting over 300. Jed Lowry's been a good surprise so far, actually. I think Mark Canha actually leads the league in runs, but like no one's like hitting 350 with a bunch of bombs. There's no Acuna or Trout on the team. So
Does Jed Lowry have one of the most signature looks in all of baseball? It's
with
like the
what
most the double flap helmet. It's like
I
Shane Victorino.
he rocks it. I like the double helmet for him. If I was a switch hitter, I'd probably do a double helmet.
Dude, he's been doing that. Well, he had to do it when he was at Stanford. I remember I grew up watching Jed Lowry at Stanford. And then, I mean, he's been in the league since I was, I don't know, we were what, 8 or 9. And
Yeah.
he's done that. He stayed committed to the two flap helmet ever, like
I,
since he's
I
been in
love
the
it.
league.
It's his thing. It's Jed Lowry if it's a 2 flap switch hitter up there.
Right. Jed Lowry, Shane Victorino. Those two.
Awesome.
Um, the A's always go on these runs.
It feels like every year they have one run where you're like, are they going to do more than 20 games this year? And then they
Right.
don't, but it's still sick.
It's like a few times a year they'll win 15 out of 18 games.
I mean, they started the season last year. That's basically how they got in the playoffs. It was a 60-game season and they were like 25-5 or something. It was like they made the playoffs after, a third of the season. And the season before, they got to the wild card with just an absolute tear in the last couple months of the season. They were nowhere near the top of the standings. So they always do this. So I'm hoping they can kind of maintain it. I hope they haven't hit their one streak too early.
They'll hit another one. They'll get cold, and then everyone will be counting them out again. It'll be the same shit. The A's, it's just.
Can I get an official call?
Can you get
An
an
official
official?
how many game streak? Like, what do you think? Can you predict their next streak, when it'll be, and how many games?
I'm gonna say it's gonna be. I love this. I love that you're doing this. This is you contributing. As a coach, I gotta let my guys know when they do well, and that's
Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna say they're gonna hit a cold streak in June,
Okay.
and then at the end of July, they're gonna rattle off. I'm writing this down, by the way.
Well, yeah, we're going to come back to this.
At the end of July, they're gonna win 13 of 16.
Okay, that's fair. If they win 13 of 16 at some point in mid-July, end July, early August, that'll be a pretty damn good prediction.
Yeah, they're going to win 13 of 16 at the end of July and run away with the division. That's like how they're
Yeah,
going to win.
Watch us check the schedule after, and it's like interleague play against like the Dodgers, Padres, and then they're playing
The
like
worst part of their schedule.
and then they got 2 series against the Astros. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, on the road. Yeah, terrible. Verlander comes back like that. So
Yankees are red hot. They got a series against the Yankees.
fuck the Yankees. They're so boring to watch.
You've made so before we move on to Mortal Kombat, you made one good little note here. What is the dumbest baseball play you've ever executed? Did you have an example for that?
Yep.
I wanted to hear what yours was.
So there's a few. There's one that I've done where I was getting my sign and I just dropped the ball giving my sign, balked in the run.
That's tough.
I didn't really make a whole lot of mental errors. The dumbest baseball play I've ever executed was probably just going out the night before San Jose State when I knew I was going to pitch.
Yeah.
That was, does that classify? because I don't think I was a smart baseball player. I can't pinpoint any just straight up like bonehead move other than
Yeah, I can't either. And that honestly, that's really it's a mature thing that you're able to look back on this and cite going out before a game as maybe one of your weaker baseball executions.
yeah. So I started out my freshman year. I think it was 9 scoreless innings, 8 scoreless innings, something like that. I was shoving.
And you had pitched that day correctly and say like thrown a bunch of innings to, save the game or hold a lead or something, right?
Against San Jose State.
That day, that same day that you also went out that night, that day you had pitched as well, right? Or no, am I
I
wrong?
don't think so.
Okay, never mind.
I don't think so. I think it
Okay,
was
never
like a
mind.
couple days before.
Okay.
It might have been. Maybe, who knows? I'd have to look for sure. Either way, I knew there was a chance I was going to pitch. Like
Yeah.
I knew there was somewhat of a possibility I was going to pitch. But anyway, I started out really hot and was feeling myself, and I didn't like go out a ton before games, but I did my freshman year. It wasn't like I could recuperate pretty fast. Wasn't until when we were upperclassmen I'd be like, I can't do this, and I was a starter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I decided to go out. We were playing San Jose State the next day. Went out with a teammate. I'm not going to name his name. Rhymes with blooper, and he missed the bus
Oh yeah.
completely.
Yep.
No discipline whatsoever for him. He just got
Daylight
the
daylight savings. Yeah, daylight savings. Got
daylight
him.
savings. He got an off day, and I made the bus, and I was still very drunk, like very very drunk throughout BP, throughout warming up. I think I went to 90 feet and was like trying to throw as little as possible. Sure enough, we have the lead in a close game, and I get called into pitch. It's 3-1 when I enter the game, and when I leave the game without recording an out, it's 4-3. I
Remember
was
that.
told, yeah,
Do you want to say what Coach Vaughn told you on the mound, or
I'm
are you
not
gonna?
going to say what Coach Vaughn told me on the mound. Basically, I was told to just get out of here,
Fair.
which I accepted. I took it like a man, took it like a champ. But that was really, really dumb. I knew there was a high possibility of me pitching in a close game. So that was the dumbest baseball play I've ever executed. What about
Eh,
yourself?
it's not that bad. Gosh, I don't know. For me, certainly a lot of bad baseball plays were just made out of nerves. Just nerves. Couldn't think straight. My normal baseball self. I think my very first at bat in college, I actually got a single. There was a runner on second, so he was coming to score, and so I was running to second to try to draw the throw to let the run score with 2 outs.
Beast.
But I was just not even looking. I was just blacked out. The ball had actually gotten past the right fielder a little bit, and so he just picked it up and easily threw me out at second to end the inning when I could have just watched him not do that and then ran back to first, and that would have been, the same result, and the inning continues. So that was pretty stupid, but I was pretty stoked to get my first hit. I one time made 2 errors at the top of the first inning and got pulled in the bottom of the first and didn't even get my first at bat. That one that one stung. That one hurt.
I remember that shit.
I literally just sat on the rail and didn't move off the rail for 8.5 innings.
I didn't. I thought about going up to you and like saying something, but like I didn't even know what to
No,
say.
there was
Yeah.
there was nothing. I was just like, for whatever reason that year, I'm from third base, had the yips, couldn't throw from third base, but for whatever
Yeah.
reason, like I went to summer ball, like shortstop, second base, no problem. But if it's third base, I couldn't make the throw. And so, yeah, I think my dad, like after the game, was like trying to like keep me in his sight. He was worried that I was like gonna, pencil dive off the parking structure or something. Um, but yeah, that was a tough one. Came back the next day, played and had a couple of hits, I think, and I was back in there. But yeah, I couldn't. I was not a third baseman after that.
No, I appreciated you at third base because there was one play that I distinctly remember. Taylor Ward, he's in the big leagues
Oh
now.
God.
I shoved it up Fresno State's ass, plain and simple. But Taylor Ward barreled me twice, and one of them he hit you straight in the chest at third base. That was loud. That was loud.
That particular game, our head coach kept calling first pitch fastballs of the inning, and it was like 7 straight balls were just rocketed at me at third base. That one I wore off my chest. There was one that went in between my legs and was called a hit because it was hit so hard. And I was just wondering why we kept calling first pitch fastballs. But yeah, that year I got eaten up at third base pretty bad. Needless to say, I didn't play much infield after that freshman year.
I started mixing it up after that.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Give him a little change up in the 4th inning.
6 innings.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh god. Mortal Kombat sucked. That's all I have to say on that.
Yeah. So last week we talked about Godzilla versus King Kong, and Razo asked me if I was going to watch Mortal Kombat. I think I said probably not. I didn't. He texted me, asked me if I watched it. I said no. He said it sucked. That's all I got.
That's all you need to know, dude.
Okay.
No, it was awful. So let's talk some golf.
Let's do it.
The Aussies, Leishman and your boy, I believe Cameron you Smith, originally brought him up. We're both Cam Smith guys. I'd also really like Leishman. 2 very fun guys on tour that are very relatable. You know, Cam Smith's got the mullet.
Totally.
He just kind of just looks like a chiller. Leishman's got this big boiler. Just looks like a country club guy that just loves to crush some Fosters and get after it. So 2 very relatable guys win that tournament. How do you like the match play events? How do you like those team golf events?
I like them a lot. So you might have to refresh in this, but the Ryder Cup, they play multiple. So Ryder Cup, it's teams and they play multiple different styles of team golf. Is that correct?
Yes. So it's match play, but then I don't know if they ever do. I'm not sure if they ever do like alt. Maybe they do alt shot. Maybe they do. I don't know.
I don't know if it's the Ryder Cup. I should probably know more about this since we are golf. I don't know if it's the Ryder Cup where they have it, but I think the alternating shot's probably my favorite style of team golf.
I love it. I think I don't know if it's the allure of the fact that we don't see it very often, but there is, and I get that there's a lot of pressure with a Sunday putt, but there is so much pressure when you're playing on a team when someone else is relying on you.
Oh yeah.
Like that is way more fun to me. I guess because we played team sports and like the majority of the world played, but I think the world like identifies with this shit when there's team events like this that it's just something different.
Yeah. I think I would first of all, love to get mics on all these guys when they play, team golf, but like when the pressure's on and if you don't hit a good shot, guys for sure thinking I can hit a better shot than that because that's what they do for a living, so they're just like probably like what the fuck. I would just love to have like Jordan Spieth mic'd up with like Justin Thomas, just like the competitive banter back and forth between those guys as they're trying to win.
Right. Or like Bubba Watson just being an actual asshole, like telling Scotty Scheffler to like pull his head out of his ass or something like that.
Yeah, there's actually something interesting with that is that they have to literally use the same ball. And so guys use different balls and at their level, like the ball's going to make a difference. So there are guys, always in the practice rounds, like, how the fuck are you playing with like a Pro V1X or whatever? And that guy's playing with like a Bridgestone or something. And so they got to figure out like, okay, who's going to use, what ball are we going to use on what hole because of what shots we're probably going to have and all that stuff. So there are little things like that, which make it super interesting.
I'd never even thought about that they have to use the same ball.
Yeah, and if you're using a different ball, like doesn't spin it spins differently on your chip shots. It doesn't. These guys have probably hit thousands of all these different chip shots, and they know when it's gonna, come back and when it's gonna bite and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, you're playing with a different piece of equipment. It's not just us going out there and flipping, a noodle or a chrome soft.
Is that what you use? Are you a big noodle guy?
I mean, if I lose a couple of balls, yeah, I'm taking out the red Callaway super soft or the noodle. I'm not going to keep ripping.
Are you the strictly Pro V1 guy?
Uh, Actually, Skylar, my girlfriend, currently uses Chrome Soft, and I actually have started using a
Wow.
lot of Callaway Chrome Softs. But honestly, like I just try and take a nice ball to start with, Pro V1,
Yeah.
Callaway PP5, and then as the day goes on, switch to a colored ball,
Right.
old Pro V1. You know how it is.
Right. Velocity, something like that.
I hate the velocity for some reason.
Really? I
Anyway,
don't know. I don't really notice. I know I like the look of Vice balls. I wish Vice balls did not scuff so easily.
it's I don't notice, but I feel like after playing a pretty decent amount of golf, if I have just like if I don't like a ball, there's probably a subconscious reason for it. Like I probably hit enough shitty shots with the velocity to know that I don't like it, or I've like hit enough good drives to the Pro V1 to be like, yeah, if I had a Pro V1 good, like that's my best shot, So I don't know.
I think the name Noodle speaks for itself. That's just so shitty.
I love it when you make a par or a birdie with a noodle. You're like,
With a good
yeah,
noodle,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
it's
the fucking
essentially
man. I'm the
it
man.
should be an eagle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
It
get
should
a handy +1 stroke every hole if you use a noodle.
Um, do you want to see more team events like this? Because I mean, I stay up to watch the Ryder Cup all the time. Not, I mean, all the time. Whenever it's on, like I'll stay up. If it's in Europe, I'm staying up until 1 a.m. I'm watching the Ryder Cup live. I love watching the President's Cup. This tournament was awesome to watch. The match play, the WGC match play event at Austin Country Club was awesome. Do you want to see more of these events, match play, team events, and possibly a major?
I don't know like what how like the golfers would respond to this, but I would love to see golfers just like create their own super pairs because you'd have to pick like good golfers to compete. If Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth are friends, they're going to pick each other. Like you can't just pick some slapdick. Like you got to become friends with someone good and just go out there and they have a bunch of different styles or whatever, and the purse is just as big, and it's two guys golfing on a team. Like I think that'd be so lit. I would for sure watch
Mm-hmm.
that.
Dude, that makes it relatable. Like you talk about growing the game and stuff, that makes it relatable to the people that love team sports,
100%.
especially if you allow, I'm not gonna say like all the bush league shit, but hey, like let's get some John in. Let's get a little, MJ, Larry Bird trash talk going.
I mean, I think yeah, they're getting there already. I mean, the guys are kind of more flamboyant and more lax with their like wardrobes, and I don't know, they're more fun in general. I'm trying to think what else, but also they're just like trying to hit bombs. They're like a little more emotional out there. It's kind of happening. It's on the
It
right trend.
is. It is. It's a slow and steady, but no, I see what you're saying. Speaking of flamboyant, the Valspar that's going on right now. Did you see Victor Hovland's shirt? I love
No,
that guy.
I didn't. What is it?
He is
I'm gonna look it up actually.
he's wearing I tweeted it out. It's this fluorescent shirt right here.
Is it a brand? Like, did he have to wear it for like
I
Nike or
don't know
something?
who
Or
his sponsor is. I think his sponsor is Cisco, but I don't know like I don't think Cisco just makes shirts. I thought they were a sound
yeah, I
system.
think that's probably a shirt with a Cisco logo. I'm gonna look on
Yeah,
YouTube.
who is either way, that's a sick shirt. I love Victor. I was watching the
Oh yeah,
Valspar.
oh yeah, it's kind of sick. Just like a Hawaiian polo is what we got going on
Yeah,
here.
it's a Hawaiian polo. It looks like a Bad Birdie shirt.
Yeah, that's sick. I'm all for it.
And like that guy, man, he's smiling all the time. He brings such good energy. Like he just brings really good vibes with him at all times. I love Victor Hovland. I hope he wins a major pretty soon. I watched the featured groups of Hovland, Sungjae, and Homa, and then JT, DJ, and Joaquin, and that was pretty lit. Honestly, Homa I think was -5 today.
Yeah, I think Homa's in second after or tied for second after the first round.
M plays golf similar to the way he's a little bit smarter and he's obviously way more talented. He plays golf the way Dubonne plays baseball. I'm
Just a
dead
little
serious.
reckless.
He just goes for the green. Like he just goes for gold every time. And I love it. I love watching it. He's just he just wants to use a weapon every time and hit a shot.
Well, I mean, you see that in his scores. I mean, like, what was he today? He was 3 or 4 over, something like that. But I mean, he'll put up some ridiculous numbers every once in a while.
Right. And like we saw he was the rookie of the year. Was it last year or the year before? And I love the guy. He's going to score low. He's going to get hot at some point, but I mean, in golf, it's about are your bad days not like horrific.
Right.
And then your good days, you obviously get hot, but like if your bad days are horrific, there's no chance you're going to win tournaments consistently. There's just no
Right.
shot.
Yeah, that's completely true. It's about it's about good misses and it's about minimizing on the bad days.
I guess that's the same with any sport. Like you could obviously be on in baseball. I could have my best stuff, and that's fine. It's really about like when you don't have your best stuff, and then you find a way to not give up fucking 9 runs to Oregon State in the first inning.
Yeah, you gotta be smarter. You gotta use your brain a little more.
JT and DJ and Joaquin, they all had eagle putts on hole 1. That was really cool to watch. They just bombed the ball. JT hits nukes, which he doesn't get enough credit for how far he drives the ball because he's small.
Yeah.
But I swear, dude, the guy's like Mookie Betts. He hits fucking missiles.
I think I mentioned this before, but they always talk about how he just has the ability over anyone else to hit the ball in the center of the club face more than anyone else, which makes total sense.
Yeah, it must be really nice to have that talent. Really
Yeah,
nice.
I look at my driver and it's got ball marks pretty much all over it. So kind of wish I could hone that in a little bit.
I don't even, yeah. I should probably just start checking after each one. But like there's some ball marks at like the very end of my driver. It's like, how the fuck did that happen?
Just when you hook one into the next fairway and you kind of take a look down and it's like half a ball on the very end of your club and you're like, oh yeah, that's where I hit that one.
See, I don't even want to do that. Like I get self-conscious doing that because I look at that. That's like the third baseman, like letting 5-hole in a ball, and then he like looks at his glove. It's like, buddy, it's not the glove. It's not the club. It's your swing. It stinks.
Right. I'm kind of looking to just like see how bad I was. Like I'm not blaming the club. I just want to see like, yikes, how bad was that?
I might start blaming stuff though. Like I might give one of these like after like a bad run. Like,
tighten the glove, like it's a little loose on that one.
Yeah. Well, like get something like in the eye. Like, oh God, like anyone got eye drops?
Yeah.
I may become excuse guy.
I personally don't want to see that, but I'll laugh if you do become that guy.
Just every single bad shot.
Yeah.
Old hammy injury. Before we get to our ideal foursomes of men that we would like to play golf with, Michael Vasaki. I just love these stories. It's almost like the career minor leaguer gets called up to the big leagues and makes a splash. This guy, Michael Vasaki, I think he's just been grinding his whole life. His family has supported him throughout his dream. And he qualified for the Valspar this weekend. Then he birdied hole 1. I didn't see how he did on the day, but the dude was crying. He was like just overwhelmed. And I love these stories because these are, I don't want to be the pessimist here, but these are the outliers as opposed to most of the guys on tour, I would just say are freaks for that matter. Just like most, big leaguers, NFL players, they're freaks. So these are like the outliers, these awesome stories. So I just wanted to highlight that guy. Shout out to Michael Vasaki.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it works, but my understanding is he's basically on the mini tour and you have to then qualify by winning like a weekend local tournament or something like that to then qualify for the Monday qualifier. And then you have to win the Monday qualifier to play in the PJ. So it's like one guy out of a huge pool of players gets to go out of tons of guys that are constantly like grinding to even like have a shot at that. So yeah, I don't know what I don't know if the ramifications is the right word, but I don't know if this like keeps him on tour or what you have to do, but I think he's like, I want to say there's like 100 and I don't know how many golfers. There's sure a lot, but he's like tied for 125th or something. He's like 5 over or
Is he?
something,
He's got to be. Is he
or
on
maybe
Corn
three.
Ferry, or is he on just a mini tour?
If Corn Ferry and Mini is the same thing, I
No,
don't
there's
know.
mini tours. The Corn Ferry is like AAA. That's like Will
Yeah,
Zally baby, Salamander. He's number one right now on Corn Ferry.
yeah, he's not Corn Ferry. He's Mini Tour. Hit qualified for a Monday qualifier, which I think is like mostly Corn Ferry players,
Okay.
and then beat all those guys playing from the Mini Tour. So it's like
Okay.
that's like why it's such a big outlier that he's like playing. But that's kind of my understanding. I'm probably not 100% right, but I think like that's why
No,
he's
we'll
so,
say you're right. I mean, it's our show, so
I mean,
you're
like
right.
he's like, yeah, he's like super
You're
emotional for a
100%.
reason. Like it's not, it's a big. You have to play really well and get lucky to have this
Well,
opportunity.
is he ever even going to play in one again,
Well,
too?
that's what I'm
That's what
wondering.
I'm
Is that
saying.
just playing on one PGA Tour event, does that like qualify you automatically in some way for other stuff? Does that get him on the Corn Ferry? I don't know the ins and outs, but I guess we'll see.
Damn. I wish he would have just win. And then he could just be on the tour.
So I think he's like +3. I mean, I'm sure I could look it up right now. And I don't know what the
Okay.
cut's going to be. And he's pretty deep down there, but there's so many guys that are tied at +3, +2, +1, even -1, -. Like if he just
Right.
goes like, if he has a good round, like 5 under or something tomorrow, he'll probably make the cut, I would guess.
Okay. I also saw a little quick side note. This guy, he's from Thailand. I don't even want to try pronouncing his name. I just know his first name is Kiradech. And he was paired with Phil today, and he had like a bad drive, and you just see Phil like walk over to him, and Phil like was giving him some lesson. I just thought that was hilarious. Like if I was on tour, I'd be like, Phil, like I love you, man, but please shut the fuck up. Like,
Dude. Yeah, after watching him on that like quarantine event with like him, Steph Curry, and Charles Barkley, him explaining
every
like
time.
I was like, all right, I kind of like this, but I'm kind of over it by the end. Like, stop explaining every shot.
Like, dude, can you just let me figure something out? It's like the overbearing coach.
Dude, just let Charles Barkley be Charles Barkley. He's gonna be fine,
Yeah.
man. Chill out.
My God. Okay. You have a team. It's going to be best ball, I'm assuming. Yeah. So we'll say best ball. Foursome. Can't be on the PGA Tour. Can't be like a professional golfer. Who are you choosing?
So I get 3 other golfers then? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, 3 guys.
Okay, I'm probably taking Steph Curry.
Okay.
I'm taking Tony Romo. And I'm
Just
taking Mark.
because he's good.
Yeah, so when I saw the notes
So you're
today,
just taking good golfers.
I was thinking the intent of this is taking 3 non-PGA guys to win an event. I don't necessarily
Right.
these aren't necessarily my best 3 hangout guys, but I'll just go with what I got for right now. But yeah, my best 3 guys that are non-golfers, I'd pair myself with Steph Curry, Mark Mulder, and who was the last guy?
Mike Tyson.
Before that? And
Did you say Mike Tyson?
Yeah, probably not Mike Tyson. No, Mike Tyson is not on my list probably to even golf with anyway, even if I just wanted to.
Okay.
All right, so tell me where you were going with this.
So I'm going, yeah, but I'm also like thinking, okay, yeah, there's a lot of good golfers out there that can play, with anyone. So you got, in addition to coming up with a good golfer, you got to come up with someone that's competitive. Did I lose you?
No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Oh, hold on.
Sorry, I just was.
Oh, no. That was my thing. My thing went. Anyway, I'll just edit that. When it comes to picking these, you got to pick someone that's very competitive, but at the same time, they're also a really cool guy. Like, I don't want to be with someone that I can't relate to, and I want to hear some good stories. Essentially, when you golf with people, by the way, we got a new vlog coming out this week. Just want to give you a heads up.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience, listeners. No, it's been a minute, but we got a vlog coming out. I was super hungover. It's a very embarrassing round, but I have to face the music anyway. My ideal, I'm looking for competitiveness and I'm looking for relatability. So my number one pick is MJ.
Okay. Big gamblers.
Huge gamblers, and he's going to take care of the drinks. He's gonna talk all the shit. He'll take care of all that, all the external, anything external that I worry about that takes away from my golf game. MJ's taking care of it because he can multitask like that because he's the GOAT.
Okay, fair.
My other one is Greg Maddux. Greg Maddux, simply because I believe that he would somehow prank the other team. He's been known as a big time prankster.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's maybe digging like a ditch, like where the ball lies or something like that. Not cheating, but he would definitely have some sort of competitive edge in terms of talking shit, mental warfare, and he's a good golfer. He said him, Smoltz, and Glavin used to golf every road trip.
That's right. That's right.
So I love Greg Maddux. And then my last guy is Canelo Alvarez. He's a pretty good golfer. I think he just started golfing last year, and he's already like an 8 handicap.
Really?
Yeah, he was in the the Century in Tahoe?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he golfed there, and then he chipped in, and then he just started like punching the air. That was his celebration. He was like doing one of these. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that every time I chip in, but I don't chip in anything.
You also probably don't want to be around that guy like when he misses like 2-foot putts either. Like, watch your lips.
Yeah, I know. I don't think. Hopefully, he doesn't have that sort of like anger issue out on the course. Otherwise, a fucking liability.
Right. Okay. So I see what you're going for. So you pick 3 pretty good golfers that all bring something different to the table to make a great team.
Right. Exactly. So we got 2 brown dudes, 1 boxer, 1 comedian, 1 baseball player, a basketball player, but all 4 competitors, and all 4 a little bit different, a little bit quirky in their own way.
Got it. Yeah. I'd have to give it some thought, but I mean, it might be nice to.
You didn't give enough thought into this, clearly.
Well, I thought, who would be your ideal team of 4 that aren't PGA players? So it's like, who are you taking? Who are the best golfers that you know? And I just think about the.
You could have thought of so many golfers.
I'm trying to think.
Jim Nance.
This is unrelated, but did you see that video of Rafael Nadal golfing?
No, is he good?
No, but his golf swing, his backswing is like a tennis backswing. So it's like the elbow just stays super tight to his body. It just like literally looks like a tennis.
He's like serving.
Yeah, well, not serving, but it's like the underhand.
Jumps up.
It's like, imagine an underhand tennis swing is like what his golf swing looks like, and I just thought that was freaking hilarious. Like, just trying to take my baseball swing out of my golf swing. Like, imagine one of the best
to take a tennis swing,
like being the best or one of the best tennis players in the world, trying to take your swing. Just like impossible to do that.
I bet he hits a lot of stingers. Like he stops his hands right at contact.
I'm thinking because that top hand has to roll over to get the top spin. He's just hitting top spin hook the whole time.
He just can't stop like hitting the old fucking hook.
That top hand rolls over so hard.
Oh my god, I could see him getting so frustrated with it too.
Yeah,
I would love to see like some of the best athletes in the world and like their first sessions at the driving range.
Oh my god. It would just be a reflection of whatever their sport is.
I think that they should release footage of that to the public to make them like more relatable. Because it really is relatable content whenever you see that.
I mean, I think that's why people love watching these pro-ams, and they're like watching those celebrity tournaments like, oh, everyone does suck at golf. This is great.
Yeah, and then you see like Mike Trout at Topgolf, and he hits a ball 600 yards.
But it's still a baseball swing. Like, it looks just like his baseball swing, you know what I'm saying? So it's...
But yeah, also, I think he has like 2-3 hole-in-ones.
So yeah, he does pound the golf ball as well.
Fucking absurd. How do all these guys get hole-in-ones? Do you have any aces?
No, I have no aces. I mean, yeah, I don't know I guess you just got to play a lot, or just play a lot of like par 3 courses or something.
We gotta play a par 3 course when you come out here. And like,
Dude,
that's
I'm
all we're
down.
doing. We're just going for pin.
Yeah, par
We're
three,
not trying
36 holes, all par threes, just trying to go for hole in ones. We'll get it.
for a week until you can't leave until we get a hole in one. One of us has to get one. That honestly, that'd be great for content, like doing an OGV thing if you come out here.
If
And
we got that set up and like talk to the golf course and like, hey, we're just gonna start at 6 a.m. and just we'll pay a rate and we'll just roll in this course all day until we close. And if we get one, we're done. If we don't, we're coming back the next. I'd be so down to do that.
we could easily do that. I could.
That would
I
get
make.
views. That would get views for sure.
Fuck yeah, it'll get views. Okay, that's it. The par 3 challenge. I'm fucking.
Okay. I call being on that one. I'll fly out for that.
Yeah, I'm in. You're in. Par 3 challenge. It's gonna be at Mountain Shadows. Okay, in Paradise Valley or
Great.
Scottsdale. It's a par 3 course. I think the longest hole is like 170 yards, and the rest of them are like we're gonna be using like 52 and 60s.
Yep, I'm not even bringing I'm bringing only irons when we go.
And then
don't even need the putter, just bring your irons.
Right. And then if you bogey a hole, you have to use a driver on the next hole.
We're trying to do a par 3 challenge. We just keep bogeying.
Fuck. Damn it. But that's all I got.
Dude, that was a good episode. I mean, it's probably right at an hour, so I think that was that's perfect.
Yeah. I think it's great. We touched on everything that I wanted to touch on, other than the Rays pitcher, but we can always talk about him. Shane McClanahan throws cheese. Classic Rays.
Cool. Throw it in the notes for next time.
I'll throw it in the notes for next time. As far as next week goes, we'll have a vlog that's out. Lex may or may not be on the call. We may or may not be having an interview soon.
Cool.
With the sleazy man himself. So we're trying to work things out, schedule with him. Tried to do it yesterday. Schedules, just everyone's busy right now, understandably so. We all got to make our money. We all got to grind. But thanks for coming on again.
Hey, appreciate you having me. I'll keep coming as much as you want me on here.
Yeah, you're gonna come on here.
Yeah, I'll keep being on your show, Orlando. Thanks for having me.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in.